Thank you, Mary. It's
Welcome
great to
our
be here.
show. Okay, so can you tell our audience a little bit more about yourself?
Sure. Well, my name is Maili Wong, and I'm really pleased to be here today and very honored to be a recipient of this fantastic award from the Vancouver Chinatown New Century Lions Club. And basically, I work as a vice president and investment advisor with a large Canadian bank. It's a financial management firm where I'm a part of a team of 5 very experienced individuals with over 75 years of experience, and we help manage clients' wealth.
I see.
I'm also a mother of two young, wonderful children. I have a 3-year-old daughter and a 10-month-old son.
Wow.
And a very wonderful husband who is runs a dental practice.
Okay, so you must have a very tight schedule every day.
It is very busy. It is very busy. In fact, part of it, daily life, whether it's, figuring out the children's schedule and their care, as well as my work schedule, and then trying to fit in some time to spend with my husband as well. It's really always a balancing act, for sure.
I see. So your work area mainly is in Vancouver, is it?
Yes, our office is located in Vancouver, but we have clients worldwide.
So I know that you have worked in the States as well, right? So when was that?
That's right, Mary. I worked in New York City back in 2001.
Wow.
And it was a very interesting experience. It was right out of university. I had got the opportunity to work in New York City, in the heart of the financial world.
Right.
And it was a time when there was a lot of different things and changes happening in the financial industry. And my second day on the job actually turned out to be that fateful day of September 11th, when the 2 planes hit the World Trade Center. And unfortunately, the building that I worked in was attached to the World Trade Center, and it was a very scary time, especially for a young woman from Vancouver starting to work in a big city, and that happened. But I feel very blessed to have come through that experience, and it taught me a lot about gaining courage and also seeing adversity as an opportunity to rise to the occasion. And I think it helped me personally build a lot of character to deal with a lot of difficult things in daily life.
Right. So how about work? Like, is it a different way of practice in the States and in Vancouver?
There's a lot of similarities. While I was in the States, I worked for a wealth management firm. We managed about $5 billion. I think that in Vancouver, it's a much smaller city, but at the same time, a very global city. And I would say that the experiences working in an international city like New York were really complementary to working here in Vancouver, where we can leverage our contacts and the news flow of information of all the things that are impacting the financial markets today. So it's definitely a change of pace, but at the same time, a very vibrant place to have a business.
This must be very interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so being as a recipient for the award, I know that you have a cash reward as well. Yeah, that you have to choose to give it to a charity organization. So which organization have you choose?
Well, I'm very fortunate to be able to donate this prize to the Canadian Women's Foundation. This is the only national foundation in Canada dedicated towards helping women and girls find their way out of poverty and out of violence and find confidence.
Right. Okay. So do you know anything more about this organization, this foundation?
Yes, this foundation is very flexible in terms of the way that they make their grants, and therefore they cover a lot of ground. I mean, it's interesting that in today's day and age, over 1 million Canadian single moms are raising their children still in poverty.
Wow.
And as a mom myself, I really I'm sensitive to that because I know how hard it is, even with a 2-parent family. We rely on a lot of support from my parents and my husband's parents, as well as other family and friends. So I can only imagine as a single mom what that might be like.
Right. Yeah. So have you been supporting this foundation before?
I have. A couple of years ago, I started a series of free educational financial seminars for clients. And one of the topics was philanthropy, how to give back. And I met a speaker who was a board advisor to this particular foundation, and she spoke about how she sold her very successful business in Canada and dedicated her life to helping underprivileged women and girls, and it really inspired me. It was just a coffee chat in somebody's home, their living room, and she gave such a moving talk that I was inspired to reach out to her. And I asked her if she would be willing to come back to Vancouver and share her story. And she said she was. So I did. I followed up and brought her out to speak to a number of our clients and colleagues. And she opened up a lot about her personal experiences and the good work that the Canadian Women's Foundation is doing. So from there, we actually started to raise a lot more awareness within the West Coast, because this foundation is based in the East. And not as widely known as many others that are out there, but they do so much good work that's behind the scenes that I feel very honored to be able to help support them.
Yeah, that's wonderful too. Yeah, and tell us a little bit more about yourself. How do you feel towards receiving the award?
Well, for me, it's a real, I'm very humbled. I feel very honored to receive this award. Honestly, you know, much of what I do during the day is trying to look after everybody else.
Money, everybody
else's money.
Yeah.
Also, you know, in terms of the family, looking after, you know, my children's needs, and often what we do is, I'm sure is for you as well, it's a very under-recognized, and so it's really nice to receive the recognition. But you know, I think that the hard work is really done by the people at the Lions Club, the Vancouver Chinatown New Century Lions Club, and what they're doing to try to create something that's going to raise awareness for youth overall by trying to develop a inspiration for youth to help their community. So, you know, for me, it's something that I've always felt very passionate about. One of the things that I do on the side, I guess, is I volunteer as a board advisor to another nonprofit group called Young Women in Business, and it's more of a nonprofit geared towards helping young women from all different types of background find some confidence and skills and knowledge to be able to go out and pursue either starting a business or a career in finance. And it's all about mentorship and all about helping younger people get confidence.
Oh, that's very good.
So it works really hand in hand with what the award sponsors are trying to accomplish.
Yeah, and it sounds that you work really packed in your daily life. So, and you're a mother of two, right? And
that's right.
So, can you share with us something about your time management? How do you manage between your work and family, or maybe even your personal life?
That's a great question. I think that ultimately I'm always trying to be more efficient, create systems, and create processes that are repeatable, whether it's by my husband and I sharing a calendar that we can sync on our phones so that when there's an update, something simple like that, as all the way to just trying to set the week ahead and visualize what the week ahead is going to look like, and try to put things in place. Exactly, so that we're not scrambling to get the kids' swimming suits ready an hour before swim class. So everything's sort of planned out ahead of time. The same thing goes in my business. You know, I have a fantastic team that we all support each other so that we can stay as efficient as possible. In order to, because there's always client things coming up on the fly. So trying to be as organized ahead of time, so that allows us to work very efficiently. Yeah.
So I know that Maili is a very successful businesswoman, but can you tell us something about, like, in your workplace, or in your opinion, how do you feel about the equality between men and women in the society, or maybe in the workplace?
I would say that, especially in the workplace, being in a financial type of business, it's still somewhat male-dominated, and you know, I felt that throughout my career, most of the people that I worked with are indeed men. I've enjoyed working with men on my career, and I think that the opportunities for women, there's been a huge improvement in that. And yet I think that there is not equality yet. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that men and women think differently. I think that as a woman in the business, I can use that to play to my strengths in such a way that I use more of a consulting approach when working with clients, which may be a different approach than some other people use. I also find that men and women sometimes communicate differently. So part of the things I've learned along my career, been about 12 years in the business, is about understanding how other people think, whether they are men or women, and trying to adapt to that so that my message can come across clear to them. And I think that there's still a long way to go for men and women equality.
Yeah, and it's nice to talk to you today. And
Thank
congratulations again to you receiving the award. And I hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you so
I
much,
wish you
May.
every success in your business.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Maili.